students, welcome to biology class. Children, do you know what we taught in the last class? Yes, the detailed structure of bacteria. What we learned? Detailed structure of bacteria. Now, today also we are going to continue the bacteria, the economic importance of bacteria and nutrition of bacteria. It's missing now. So, let's continue the nutrition of bacteria followed by economical importance and economical uses of bacteria. Children, are you ready? Come, let's go. Nutrition of bacteria. What does mean by nutrition? Is it possible to survive in the world without eating food? No. So, even it is a microorganism or it is a macroorganism, even a plant, all needs food material for survival. Yes or no? So, such mode of taking food is called as nutrition. Is called as nutrition. You know, the plants will not depend upon any persons. So, it will prepare their own food by means of photosynthesis. As usually, we and other living organisms are getting food from the other animals or other plants. So, such animals are said to be heterotrophs, autotrophs and heterotrophs. So, nutritions are two types. Heterotrophs. In bacteria, so bacteria is a prokaryotic organisms. It will be doing both the type of both the mode of nutritions. So in autotrophs, plants will be doing two mode of, that is this bacteria will be doing two mode of nutrition. One is photo autotrophic bacteria. Another one is chemo autotrophic bacteria. So, phototrophic means plant or bacteria which prepare their own food by means of sunlight and in the presence of pigments. So, here the bacteria is having two types of pigments. One is bacteria chlorophyll. Bacteria chlorophyll and bacteria viridin. So these are the two types of pigment. So you know how the plants will doing the photosynthesis. Plants will be doing photosynthesis by means of this chlorophyll pigment, sunlight, water, then carbon dioxide. So these are the major material required for the plant for preparation of photosynthesis. So this green color of the plant is due to the chlorophyll pigment. Likewise, in bacteria, there are two types of pigments are available. So what it is? Bacteria chlorophyll and bacteria viridin. So with the help of this pigments, this bacteria will be doing photosynthesis by means of two mode. One is called as photoautotrophic, another one is called as chemoautotrophic. What is photo? Photo means by the presence of sunlight. So it is needs sunlight for synthesizing food material. So normally in eukaryotic, that is in plants, how the food materials are synthesized? See, I am writing the equation here. So plant are preparing food material. So what it will be producing? It producing the carbohydrate C6H12O6. C6H12O6. Here, so for that it needs carbon dioxide plus it need water molecule, along with that, so it need sunlight and then chlorophyll. So these are the major things necessary for the plant for preparing photosynthesis, that is food material. So what is the result? Product will be carbohydrate, that is C6H12O6. So along with that, the product oxygen also evolved. Oxygen also evolved. So this reaction is called as oxygenic reaction. What it said to be? Oxygenic reactions. Like the same. Here, bacteria. In bacteria, so all the things are similar. So carbon dioxide is similar, sunlight, and here instead of chlorophyll, it will be using bacteria chlorophyll or bacteria viridin pigment, and it will be producing the what it is carbohydrate. But instead of water, here some other some donors are involving here. So what is the donor here? So here similar carbon dioxide plus H2S, hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide is a hydrogen donor here. So this hydrogen sulfide saves similar sunlight and bacteria chlorophyll or bacteria viridin. Again it producing C6H12O6, that is carbohydrate, that is glucose. Along with that it will be producing sulfur as a byproduct. So this is the thing which differ from the eukaryotic plant. So this type of nutrition is called as photoautotrophic nutrition in bacteria. So this here instead of oxygen the sulfur is produced by product. So it is called as anoxygenic reaction. Anoxygenic reactions. Because of that it is said to be photolithotrophic. So instead of water, here it is using some hydrogen donor recipient, some chemical substance for hydrogen donation. So that is called as water. Photoautotrophic in bacteria. Next one is by this process is getting energy and preparing their own food. In chemoautotrophic, so chemo means chemical reactions. So there is some chemical reactions or takes place. By means of chemical reaction, energy is produced. That energy is used by the bacteria. For example, nitrosomonas and nitrococcus. So these are some of the bacteria which convert the NH3 ammonia, which convert the ammonia into nitrate and nitrate into nitrite. So this nitrate is utilized by the plant for their photosynthesis, for their growth, and also by this conversion it producing some energy. That energy is utilized by the bacteria for their growth. So this kind of nutrition is called as chemoautotrophic mode of nutrition. So bacteria is doing two type of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic, photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. Again, it will be because of using some different type of donor, it is said to be photolithotrophic like this. And in chemoautotrophic also similarly, here some other chemical, some chemical reaction will take place. During this conversion, some energy is produced. That energy is used by the bacteria for their growth as a nutrition. Up to this clear? Next, let us learn about the heterotrophs of the bacteria. So some type of bacteria act as saprophytic. So what does mean by saprophytic? Saprophytic means which live on dead organic matter. So which live on dead and decayed organic materials and suck the nutrition from such decayed and dead organic matter. So such is called as what? Saprophytic bacteria. And next one, some will act as a symbiotants. So what does mean by symbiotic or symbiotants? So what does mean by symbiotants? Here symbiotic or symbiotants means so mutual understanding. What it means? Mutual understanding. What is mutual understanding? So both are giving and sharing between them. So for example here rhizobium, they are getting attached, it is mutually understood with the leguminous plants. So what is leguminous plants in Ona, which will be comes under pulse producing plants. So this leguminous plants getting mutually understood with the rhizobium bacteria. So how it is getting mutually understanding? This rhizobium is useful for the nitrogen fixation. So plant cannot take the atmospheric nitrogens. In the atmosphere 78% nitrogen is there. But this plant cannot absorb the nitrogen directly. So some of the plants, some of the bacteria which live in the root nodules. So root nodules means see, so that root will be having some knot-like structure. So that knot will be having the place for the bacterial growth. So such root nodules is providing space for rhizobium bacteria. This rhizobium bacteria is fixing the nitrogen from the atmosphere. It do and help for the plant growth. Then how the plant helping the rhizobium? This plant is providing water, nutrition and shelter. So all these things are provided by the leguminous plant to the rhizobium. Because of this mutual understanding, they are said to be symbiotants. What it is said to be? Symbiotants. And one more is called as parasites. What does mean by parasite? They depend upon other organisms completely and they are destroying and giving harmness to the host cell. Giving harmness to the host cell. So they will be, what it is, they will be start to grow, multiple and getting food from the host organism and giving trouble to them. For example, Vibrio cholerae, and Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So these are some of the bacteria which live in the host animals, which live in the host cell of the host animals and giving disease for them. So Vibrio cholerae will providing the cholera disease and Mycobacterium tuberculosis causing TB. So such mode of nutrition is called as parasitic mode of nutrition. Children, up to this clear? So saprophytic heterotrophs means the getting food material from other organisms. That is called as heterotrophs. This heterotrophs is further divided into saprophytes, symbiotants and parasites. And again, once again, nutrition of the bacteria. What we are learning? Bacterial nutrition of bacteria. So the bacteria is doing two mode of nutrition, autotroph and heterotroph. Autotroph is two types, photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. And photoautotrophic means preparing own food by means of sunlight, carbon dioxide and pigment of bacteria. Along with that, some hydrogen donor cells are involved here. And by means of this reaction, it getting food and preparing their own food and also getting the energy. So this is, and byproduct is here sulfur and what chemical which was donating here, that byproduct will be produced here. So that is called as photoautotrophic. And chemoautotrophic, some iron bacteria also involving here for producing, converting some chemical reactions and thereby getting energy. So that is called as chemoautotrophic. And next heterotrophic also we learned in detail. Children, is it clear? This is about the nutrition of bacteria. Let us learn about the economic importance of bacteria. So let us learn the economic importance of bacteria. So let us learn about the economic importance of bacteria. So in that we are going to learn about some 4 kinds of bacterial varieties. So first one we are going to learn about, so these microorganisms are more when compared with the macroorganisms. For example, so in the world, so maximum of the area is covered by microorganisms. Are you agreeing this or not? So if suppose in our body we having trillions of cells, then it will be occupied by the bacteria as hundreds or thousand trillions in our body. So this is the ratio between the that is macroorganisms and the microbes. So a simple, so this was single pen tip. So small pen tip, no, you know the pen tips, no, that pen tip will be having thousands and millions of microorganisms. So this is water, and maximum of them causing diseases and some of them causing benefits. So if you are taking economic importance means we are learning detailedly about the uses and harmful benefit of the that is useful benefit and harmful effect of the bacteria. Let's learn some classification of these bacteria based on the economic importance, and then we will learn about the economic uses of bacteria. So first one, let us take Archaebacteria. Already we learned in domains, 3 domains. What are the 3 domains? Archaebacteria, Eubacteria and bacteria. So 3 bacteria is again classified. The prokaryotic is further classified into 3 domains. Among that, first one is called as Arachidobacteria. So this Arachidobacteria is otherwise called as extremophils. What is extremophils? So it can live even in the external whatever conditions is there. So even if it is hot, even if it is acid, it is base, if it is heavy cold, or in the volcano. So whatever condition this type of bacteria can survive. So that is called as extremophils. Do you know how this bacteria getting this property? So the cell wall of the bacteria is having a more lipid content and also it having two materials. What it is? Glycerol and isopropyl ether. So these two chemical compounds are present in the cell wall of bacteria. So this property of bacteria, because of this property, because of having this chemical glycerol and isopropyl ether chemical property, this bacteria having the capacity to tolerate the extreme conditions. So that is called as what? Extremophils. That is called as extremophils, underline for 1 mark. So glycerol and isopropyl ether. So this is about the Arachidobacteria, which can tolerate in whatever conditions is there, it can tolerate and it can survive. So such bacteria is called as Arachidobacteria. Next we are going to learn about Cyanobacteria. So what do you know about Cyanobacteria? Cyanobacteria means bacteria which can prepare their own food. So it is photosynthesis in mode of nutrition. And this Cyanobacteria is originated, that is history is evidencing that this Cyanobacteria started to origin in the earth even in the fossil period. Do you know what is fossils? What is fossils? Any material, there is a body part of animals or plants or even some microbes also, if it is depositing more than thousands and millions of years, it will change into what? Fossils. So fossils, who will search the fossils? Archaeologists, they will search the place and finding the fossils and finding the years when they started to evolve or when they used. So like this, no? So that fossil formation is done by the Cyanobacterium, is observed by some archaeologists. So thus fossil fuel of the Cyanobacterium is called as stratolite. What it is said to be? Stratolite. So this stratolite is fossil formed by the Cyanobacteria. So it is like a rock-like structure. So these archaeologists, they know and they easily identify whether it is as a normal rock, mineral rock, or it is formed by the Cyanobacteria. So that fossil said to be stratolite. This is a fossil formed by the Cyanobacteria. So this Cyanobacteria is a primitively formed bacteria in this world, and this Cyanobacteria, due to the photosynthesis, it started producing the oxygen, and because of the oxygen production, that oxygen percentage is increased in the environment, and due to the increased environment, other types of bacteria and other types of living organisms, other types of cells have started to origin. So this is the history of Cyanobacteria. Understood, children? What it is? So this is the first formed primitive bacteria, which is said to be Cyanobacteria, which will be doing photosynthesis. Because of its property, it started to rising the oxygen in the environment, and because of increased oxygen, other bacterial varieties and other microorganisms are started to evolve in the world. So this is the history of the Cyanobacteria. Let's learn some of the characteristic feature of Cyanobacteria. So this Cyanobacteria, it is a unicellular and it may be colonial or it may be phyllanous. So maximum of them unicellular, so single cell, and some will be colonial. What it is? They are started to grow in a group, and some will be thread-like structures like spirulum or Spirogyra species. So these are all what some of the property of the cyanobacteria. So this cyanobacteria is having the cytoplasm. They are divided into two parts. The cytoplasm which is present in the middle side is called as centroplasm, and if it is present peripheral, periplasma, or it is said to be chromoplasma. Okay. So the cytoplasm content of the cyanobacteria is called as centroplasm or chromoplasm. And then the cyanobacteria is having the pigment. It having the pigment is called as it having four types of pigment. That is cyanobacteria, phycocyanin, cyanobacteria, phycoerythrin, and cyanobacteria myxoxanthin, and cyanobacteria myxoerythrin. So these are the pigments of the cyanobacteria. With the help of this pigment, they will be doing the photosynthesis. And next one, so this will be having the starch. So this cyanobacteria is storing the starch material. That starch material is called as Children, so some of the bacteria, that is this cyanobacteria storing the starch material is called as cyanophysia starch. So maximum plants or bacteria, after preparing their own food, that will be converted in the form of starch and stored in their cells. So here the cyanophysia is a starch synthesized by the cyanobacteria and stored in it. And next one is called as nitrogen fixation. So cyanobacteria will be having some hard side is called as heterocyst. Heterocyst. And this hard cyst part will be doing the fixation of nitrogen. So this nitrogen is fixed by the particular area of the cyanobacteria, which is turned into hard surface, that is called as heterocyst. And next one, this bacteria, cyanobacteria, is doing the vegetative mode of nutrition. What it is? Vegetative mode of nutrition. What is vegetative mode of nutrition? It will be reproduced by means of akinetase, and it will be harmogonia, or it will be doing vegetative mode of reproduction by binary fission or endospore formation. So these are the four mode of vegetative reproduction done by the what it is this cyanobacteria. Akinetics means small spore-like growth will be started, then they grow and start to live as an individual species. That is akinetase. And harmogonia, the entire body of the bacteria is divided into many pieces, and each piece start to giving its own body structure. And next is binary. Already we learned in bacteria. Binary means what? Dividing into two pieces. That is one bacteria, the nucleic acid will be start to divide, and then followed by the cytoplasmic division, then two species is forming. And endosperm also similarly, the cyst will be formed during the unfavorable condition, and later during the favorable condition comes, they will start to what? They will start to multiple. So, okay, so this is called as vegetative mode of reproduction in the cyanobacteria. And because of this, yes, sexual mode of reproduction is absent. Sexual reproduction doesn't take place here. So no sexual reproduction takes place in the cyanobacteria, and this will be involving in biofertilizer. So involving in the formation of biofertilizer. Involving in the formation of biofertilizer, and also it will having the property of protein. So hence it is consumed as a C single cell protein, consumed as single cell protein. The cyanobacteria is also used as a single cell protein. Example, spirulina is a good example for the single cell protein. Children, let's recall the characteristic feature of this cyanobacteria. So cyanobacteria is originated in the primitive year, that is evidenced by the stratolite fossil formation. So it is identified by the archaeologists, and this will be having the property of unicellular and colonial form and filamental structure. Example, Spirogyra. And next one, it may be the cytoplasm of the cyanobacteria is called as centroplasm, which is present in the center part, and in peripheral cytoplasm is called as chromoplast or periplasma. And next one, this will be having the pigment is called as erythrocyanin, there is cyanobacteria, phycoerythrin, cyanobacteria mixoxanthine, and cyanobacteria mixoerythrin. So these are the pigments of the cyanobacteria for their photosynthesis. And next one, this will be storing the food material, that is cyanobacterial starch. So it is stored inside the cyanobacteria after the photosynthesis preparation. And next one, it will be involving in the nitrogen fixation. It fixes the atmospheric nitrogen from the atmosphere, and by the particular area of the cyanobacteria which will be doing the nitrogen fixation is called as heterocyst, which is hard surface of the cyanobacteria will be doing the what it is nitrogen fixation, and it will be doing mode of vegetative reproduction by means of akinetics, orthogonia, binary fission, and endospore formation. And this will be undergoing the sexual reproduction and biofertilizer preparation, and also act as a single cell protein. Next one, we are going to learn about mycoplasma. Mycoplasma. So this mycoplasma is nothing but it is very small when compared with the cyanobacteria and other bacterial group. So which is very small, very small organisms of bacteria comes under this mycobacteria. So this mycoplasma is said to be, or it is said to be molecules. What it is said to be? Molecules. And this will be having water, very low G and C. So guanine and cytosine content is very less in the type of bacteria, and it will be having some great properties. So it will be not having the cell wall. It will be not having the cell wall. Because of that, it will be look like the fried egg. What it is? So it appears as a fried egg under the microscope. So it appears like the fried egg in the microscope, and it will be causing lot of diseases in the plants, animals, and even some microorganisms. For example, in brinjal plant, little leaf disease in brinjal plant, and it causing the one more disease is called as viscid broom. Viscid broom in the some plants. Okay, so these are the disease caused by the leguminous plants. It will be calling broom disease. Okay, so these are about the mycoplasm, which is very small when compared with the bacteria, and it is very low content of that is guanine and cytosine content, and it does appear like a fried egg because it doesn't have the cell wall. And next one, we are going to learn about actinomycetes. What it is? Actinomycetes. So what is meant by actinomycetes? So in previously they taught, scientists and all taught these type of bacteria as a fungi. So they considered as fungi because of it having some ray-like structure. Like mycelium formations takes place in the bacteria. Because of the ray, this bacteria is called as ray fungi. But actually this is not a fungi, it is a bacteria, because having the mycelium ray, it is said to be what? Ray fungi. It is said to be ray fungi. And next one, they are divided into two categories. One is called as Frankie, another is called as Streptomyces. So there are two varieties of there in under the Actinomycetes. So Frankies, these are involving in the nitrogen fixation mode of nutrition. So nitrogen fixation functions. So they are involving this Frankial types of Actinomycetes bacteria are involved in the nitrogen fixation, and Streptomyces varieties are involving in the production of antibiotic like streptomycin, tetrachlorophenical, so like that lot of antibiotics. So this will be involving in the antibiotic synthesis. So understood? So these are involved in the antibiotic synthesis. And I want to inform you one more thing. Are you enjoying the smell of rain during the rainy season? First sprouts during the first while the first rain comes, you will be feeling the smell, fragrance. That smell is due to the bacteria, the streptomycin varieties of bacteria only. So that will be producing a smell is called as earthy odor. So this earthy odor is nothing but it is produced by the some fragrance, some type of odor by the streptomycin bacteria. So that is called as geosmin. That smell is called as geosmin. So that smell is produced by the Streptomyces variety of bacteria. Because of that, we will be enjoying the smell of first rain during while it is dropping on the earth. So that is not depend upon the earth. That smell is based on the bacteria, some Streptomyces bacteria which is present in the soil will be producing while it is wetted, immediately it produces the fragrance called as geosmin. Children, up to this clear? Any doubt? So we learnt about the Arachidobacteria which is called as extremophils, and then we learnt about the cyanobacteria which is originated primitively, and it only the providing space for other bacterial formation, and then we learnt about the mycoplasma, and here this Actinomycetes will be having high G plus C, that is that is water. Guanine and cytosine content here in Actinomycetes more, and also we learnt about the mycoplasma. So these are the some important economic importance of bacteria. In next class, we are going to learn about the uses and harmful effects of the bacteria. Children, I hope you all understood this today lesson. Thank you, children.